It's been a few weeks now since my last Godzilla showcase, but I'm waiting for figures. Particularly, I'm waiting for Hiya. I wonder if they're ever going to release those figures. Oh, I guess they did. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the third edition of Godzilla Showcase. And we finally have it. We finally have a Hiya figure to talk about. I can't believe this. This day has finally come. I have done a lot of complaining to friends. I've done a lot of complaining. I've done a wee bit of complaining publicly about the waiting of these figures, but we finally have one. I'm still waiting on the rest of the new Empire figures. I'm still waiting on Godzilla and Ghidorah from the Heisei, but that'll have to be set aside for now because we have, for our third edition of Godzilla Showcase, the Hiya Toys Shimo. So I'll give a 360 of the figure and talk a little bit about Shimo. Hopefully my memory serves me better than it did for Jet Jaguar. Because I haven't watched this movie since it came out, actually. I was going to watch it for this Godzilla showcase, but the figure arrived sooner than I thought, so I didn't really get time to do it. But anyway, let's get on to the showcase. It should be a wee bit easier because Shimo is the most recent monster in the Godzilla universe, or the franchise, I should say. And she's from the Monsterverse, so I feel like more people would know Shimo than some weird robot from the 70s. I don't know, I just felt like we're bringing up Jet again. Anyway, let's talk about Shimo. So, Shimo is from Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire, the most recent of the Monsterverse films, where she is the counterpart to Godzilla in the movie. So, Godzilla X Kong kind of had this, the New Empire had this new, at least this idea of the theming of the villains was they were the counterparts to the main sort of monsters. So, Kong was given Scar King, the greatest new addition to a franchise I've ever seen, the big, weird, lanky weirdo. And Godzilla got Shimo. And now, I will say early on, I remember the rumors and all sort of stuff, before Shimo was even shown off, actually, that I'm pretty sure the plot got leaked for that movie. So we knew about a counterpart to Godzilla in the same way we knew about a counterpart to Kong from the teaser trailer. And I must say, when going into the movie, I was definitely more excited for Shimo. Obviously, I became kind of a Scar King stan, but we'll save Scar King for whenever his figure comes out. So, let's talk about Shimo. Not a lot to talk about. She doesn't have as much screen time. I mean, Scar King had very little screen time, so you imagine the little amount that Shimo had. But Shimo being the counterpart to Godzilla, there's a twist with her, is that she's not really evil per se. She's not evil in the way Scar King is evil, but instead she's being mind controlled by Scar King, using a tiny little crystal that he has on the end of his whip to control her and make her do his bidding. What a big evil man. So that's what he uses. Shimo shows up after Kong and Scar King fight. Pretty much as Scar King's ace is just like, yeah, you know what, send this thing out. She freezes Kong's hand, so he loses Leviathan Axe because of it. Which then leads to Kong getting his beast glove. Yeah, the big weird, glove thing. I like to call it the banana glove, to be honest. Yes, because it's yellow, and yes, because Kong is an ape. But after that, Scar King uses Shimo as sort of a horse. And I find that just so cool looking, honestly. Then the two fights happen, and in the final fight, you got Godzilla versus Shimo, obviously. Their fight's quite fun, honestly. I like the ice versus the... I hate this stat. The ice versus the heat. sort of motif going through it. And then Scar King's crystal gets destroyed, and Shimo is reverted back to normal. And then she joins Kong. So it means we're probably going to see her in the next movie. Yay! Outside of that, not really much. I think there was a few theories, I don't know if they're confirmed or not, that Shimo was the one that froze Ghidorah, or she caused the Ice Age, or whatever. But outside of that, not really much. She's new, so can't really see her in anything yet. Outside of maybe a novelization or so of the movie, or whatever comic book gets released. Anyway, that's that for now, and let's go on. Articulation time. This should be fun. Never really actually experienced much of the Hiya figures. I have had one beforehand, which was like Godzilla from 2019, but yeah, I haven't really looked at it that much. So I get to see what Hiya have in store with articulation. So I'll start from the back and go up. Tail-wise, pretty good. Decent range of motion on the tail. I mean, it looks like you can put her in sad dog mode or scared dog mode. Actually, yeah, that is a pretty nice range of articulation for the tail. Don't know if it's going to be as good as like what they're showing for the Godzillas, like for the Toho Godzillas. I think even the new Empire Godzilla's pretty good tail articulation. But anyway, time for the back legs. Back legs are more in the crouching position or like all four positions, so yeah, mostly like that. But you can kick her leg out like that. Legs go down, feet go down like that. Go up that far, can swivel side to side, and you can bring her out for dog wee action. Body wise also moves. I don't really want to force it, to be honest, because I'm very scared of figures that have more tight joints that have a little bit more resist to them. I used to collect Revoltech figures, and a lot of them broke because of stuff like that. So, yeah. Headwise as well, up, down, side to side, all good. Mouth opens up. I think there must be a joint on the tongue as well to move it, but I'm not going to force it. It's also not moving, so I don't even want to attempt it. Also, interestingly, for the front legs, so they can go that far. Not really back that far. Can't really go out that far either. Feet wise, pretty similar. Go up and down, and but what I find interesting is articulated toes. Just like that. Which reminds me of like the old Toy Biz Marvel Legends figures, which like I always thought that was funny back then, where it's like you have these figures with like individual fingers, so like you could have Spider-Man be really rude and give somebody the bird, or you could have Hulk point at somebody and laughing at them. Those are the good old days. Yeah, overall articulation is not that bad, to be fair. I don't think it's as good as something like, say, what Anguirus had for the SH line. I don't know if that's sacrilege to say that SH does something slightly better than Hiya, but well, we'll see. Overall, articulation-wise, I mean, for a character like Shimo, which is mostly going to be standing like that, do I really think it's that necessary to have that much articulation, especially with the individual like toes on the front but not the back? I mean, it's more articulation, I guess, but when you really can't utilize it, is there a point? That's my question. With Shimo, I feel like you can, to be honest. I feel like it's fine enough. Shimo can, her back legs and front legs are strong enough to hold her like that, but you really can't put her in like a standing pose for long. Like, yeah, she just does that. You'd usually probably have to put something underneath her to keep her up. That's because of how top heavy the figure is, so it's sort of, in my opinion, feels a little bit unnecessary. But hey, it's nice that they gave us the options at least, isn't it? Overall, very good with articulation. Now, I want to do a little bit of fun things. I want to compare this to the SH. So, I'll go off and get the SH. In the meantime, please enjoy this comeback that I got in Sonic Crossworlds. I'll be right back.
number 1.
Wasn't that great little clip? That was a really fun game, actually. Really missed that beta. Anyway, so in front of me, on the right, is the SH Monster Arts Shimo, and on the left is the Hiya Shimo. Now, looking at them head on, we can definitely see that there's a lot more detailing on the Hiya. The coloration, in particular, there's more paint, really, if you just look at it. Much better paint dabs, more detailing, the crystals as well. There's a lot more to them. They're more just like plastic though. Yeah, so I feel like Hiya definitely has this one in the detailing department. And toes. SH on the other hand is very light in terms of its detailing. Like, very, very light. It's mostly just white, honestly. Though I do like the sort of see-through crystals, if you will. Yeah, I like the see-through stuff. I like that sort of stuff. But also, notably, size-wise, SH is, I think, bigger. Length-wise, they're about the same. Like, length-wise, yeah, they're about the same. I just not on my camera. But height-wise, yeah, I do think SH is bigger. The back is more in a sort of hunched state, so it sort of adds a little bit more height. Tail-wise as well, the SH's tail is a lot bigger, I should say, not longer. Articulation-wise, they're similar enough. I do feel like the ranges, at least, yeah, I'd say the ranges on the Hiya are a little bit better, and also toes. Now, overall, which one do I like more? From a first impression, I kind of still like the SH a little bit more. That's just on a first impression, just looking at them head on, and the fact I've probably owned this thing for a lot longer, so it's grown on me more. And also, just sort of think sizing wise, and also I care about how things stick out in a collection. I do feel like this one sticks out more. I feel like the detailing is nice, but the complete pure white, it's hard not to notice it when you look at the collection. I think both of them have fundamental problems though. Not to do with the figures. Price. Releasing. This one took way too long. But this one was way too goddamn expensive to justify. There really is not a reason why this was £200. I paid £200 for this, like over £200 actually. Whilst with this, it was only 70, which in my opinion is still a decent bit, but it's not like it's just like 120 more for this one, which doesn't have the detailing. But at the same time, at least this one released on time and didn't take me near, like a year or something like that to get. I'm not bitter. So, yeah, they have problems in that regard. But also, on top of that, I will say this. The Shimo here, yes, it's far too expensive, but it also did come with accessories for con. And this is one of the things I do think SH did better. And if the rest of the new Empire figures ever come out, I do kind of want to talk about how Hiya have releasing two cons, one with the Beast Glove, one with the Leviathan Axe, which personally I'm not a big fan of. I kind of like the way SH did it more, where like the figures came packed with like extra accessories for con, and that's how you got like the Beast Glove and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I like that a lot more actually. I did enjoy paying £200 for it though, and actually, like, £100 for Suko and Mothra, but, you know, at least I'm not having to buy a completely separate figure. So that's the one thing I think this has. This has no accessories with it, by the way. Outside of that, they just have no accessories. You probably have to get, like, the little baby toys to get, like, a little ice breath thing for Shimo. To give them any sort of accessories, actually. But I also have that. Not too bad. Like I said, I do kind of lean towards SH a little bit more, but let's be honest, I think more people will be able to afford this than that. Anyway, that's my little comparison over with. But wait! There's more! Because I have a few more Shimos to show off. I thought I'd just do this as well. One of them had a little effect piece. So I thought, put it in the mouth and see what it looks like. It was kind of funny. Didn't deal with the SH actually. Should have done with the SH. Anyway. I just thought I'd show you what you could get for cheaper if you ever wanted to get your child a Shimo. Maybe they're a big fan of Godzilla X Kong the New Empire. It's alright. Because you can get them baby Shimo! It's a tiny Shimo. Comes in I got this one in a 2-pack with Godzilla. I don't know if that's the only way you can get it. I actually don't remember. But yeah, that's what you could get your child instead of buying them big expensive toys that cost them pretty much their entire life savings. I think this is Playmates that made this one. I actually can't remember. Maybe the wee text box from hell will pop up and correct me if I'm wrong. More likely I am. But yeah, this is what you can buy your child. I can also do this. I think if you pose it, yeah, it turns into like Owen from like Jurassic World. You can have it in front of like 2 other ones to make them stop. Yeah. Just think it looks funny doing that, and also the rifle opens up like that. We thought that was a good idea. Put the flippers in. Maybe better. There we go. That's not all though, because for £100, oh I dropped it. For about £100, Bandai has you covered. Because not only did they release Scar King, but he came in a 2-pack with a marshmallow. Alright, remember my last Godzilla showcase, I mentioned that I really don't care for modern Bandai figures. I mean, just look at Shimo. It's pretty much just all white, a little bit of blue on it, and some black on the nails. She is a marshmallow. That's all she is. This one I think has more detailing than that one. The baby one has more detailing than this one. That's nuts to me. The Scar King's actually pretty decent, by the way. The Scar King is actually pretty decent. It's just, yeah. And it's the only way to get that Scar King, by the way, is get this. Oh well. At least it stands out. Monkeys. Here's Shimo alongside the only other Hiya figure I own. The King of the Monsters Godzilla. Which, I'm not gonna lie, I've never really been too fond of the way Godzilla looked in the figures for King of the Monsters. He just looks really fat to me. Like, really, really fat. He let himself go. Yeah, I can't actually remember why I bought this, actually. I guess because I bought King of the Monsters stuff, and I won't lie, one of the most disappointing figures I ever owned actually was the King of the Monsters SH, so I thought, oh, screw yous, I'll buy the Hiya and see if it's better, and yeah, it's better, but like, yeah. Yeah. It just pretty much always looked to me like just a better version of like the NECA figure, honestly, but this isn't a review about you, this is a review about her. Yeah. Honestly, step up. Shimo's smaller, which looks really odd to me. Is that just me? Like, Shimo looks really, really small in comparison to Godzilla here. It'd be interesting to size her with the New Empire Godzilla when it comes out. But yeah. I think detailing wise, Shimo is definitely an improvement. I think articulation wise, even Shimo's a wee bit of improvement. Yeah. Godzilla can only have his arms go down like that. And then that one's stuck, so I don't want to force it. I guess you can make him... You can't even make him look down, look sad. Oh, well, you can look up and see something in the sky. I wonder what it is. Yeah. That's what I do up. Final thoughts time. Overall, pretty good figure. Yeah, not too bad at all. Obviously, I will be a wee bit biased, I guess, in some regards because of how long it took. And yes, I do probably prefer the SH overall, but I think honestly this is a better alternative than paying £200. Um, price wise, with 75 something pounds, which is also, I still think, a little bit steep, especially since the figure comes with no accessories. Yes, it's a big hump of plastic, but do I think that mean it's worth it? Not necessarily. But that's just me with pricing. I'll pretty much, if I ever talk about pricing again, I'm going to say half the figures I buy are not worth the price for most people. But I will say, if that's one thing that Hiya are impressing me on, is actually the price of their figures. Their figures are nowhere near as expensive as the SHs, so I do think overall this could be a good alternative line. Where would I put this at the moment? I mean, Super 7's up there for me at the moment. I really do like SH as well. I have to see more. I'm excited to see the next few. I'm hoping that the new Empire figures come out soon. I'm really looking forward to Godzilla and King Ghidorah. That's for G&K as well. And Godzilla 2000, which is the one I'm looking forward to the most. But I'll hand it over to Jet to see if he approves or not. Yeah, remember I said I didn't own the SH Jet? I haven't though. I'm going to use him for the approval parts from now on, rather than the other one, because he also comes with a thumbs up. Anyway, we don't care about you. Shimo we care about. Where's Shimo going to go, actually, my collection? I have no idea. I don't know. I'm going to see if I can get space, and if I do find a place, because I have an idea how I might want to pose her. I'll show it after this, but if it just ends, then you know I haven't found a spot, and she's in her box going to rot for a while. Let's hope I do. That's the end of this Godzilla showcase. Please go ahead and check out my previous two, which was on the SH Monster Arts Jet Jaguar, Anguirus. this stupid robot! On the SH Monster Arts Anguirus and the Bandai Fest Jet Jaguar. That's what I meant to say. Also, please check out Godzilla and King Ghidorah Episode 1. That was my previous video. Spread it around, do whatever you want. Like, subscribe, comment. I think that's the way it goes, isn't it? I don't know. I don't know this stuff at all. I'm going to end it here. That's the end for now. Goodbye, God bless, and have a good evening. I got her a spot. That was so annoying. There you go. Anyway, I forgot to mention Godzilla and King Ghidorah Episode 2. That should be soon. So, bye-bye.